Hey everyone, it's Adam here. I've traded in 7 different offices, and this video is about 7 things I wish I knew when I was setting up my first home office. Trading is all about decision making, and decision making comes down to focus and comfort, and you want to put yourself in a spot where you're focused and you're comfortable, and because of that, ergonomics is so important. You're going to be at your desk maybe 12 hours a day, and you need to be able to be relaxed, focused, and comfortable. And if your arms hurt, if your neck hurt, if your head hurts, none of it really works. So my setup here, it's a sit-stand desk. I think that's important. It gives you a chance to limber up, get the energy flowing, get the blood flowing. But even more important is getting like the height of everything right. If you're reaching up just a little bit, or your neck's twisted a bit, or something isn't quite right, it's going to start to hurt you and annoy you and put you in a bad spot. Even with my chair, this is the second version of the same chair I had because I wore it out and went and got the second one. But before I bought that, I spent hours and hours in an Office Depot just sitting in different chairs. I was like calling people on the phone, friends, family, and just sitting there and trying to see how it felt after 30 minutes. And you know, you have to get the armrests right, get everything just right. I switch and I use different offices from time to time, and even in a few hours you can start to feel pain. You do not want that. Spend the time, make the effort, and set the things up right. It might not look that great, but you have to get it right with the ergonomics. Like one thing is even the tray on the keyboard I have. It's a funny story. I actually got this from another desk that I had. It was also a really good desk. Just got moved around a little bit and it wasn't quite as big as this one. And I took that and I took the tray off of it and I attached it to this desk just because the height of it was just right. In fact, I got that desk from Carl Wolf, who was a pretty well-known musician, at least in Montreal. So Carl, if you're out there, Yalla Habibi, and your desk still lives on. Think about ergonomics as you build. Like that is the center of the whole plan to set up a home office or a desk. And if you think you can stand all day or sit on a stool or sit on a ball, you can't. You have to get a comfortable chair. You know, all the stuff is out there, way more than I can ever tell you, but invest the time and effort in ergonomics because it is money absolutely well spent. Okay, number 2, hardwire everything. If you look at my desk, if you look at my setup, I've got wired mouses, I've got wired keyboards, and most importantly, I have wired Ethernet. Underneath the computer, there's a little jack that comes out of the modem. It goes up to a splitter box, and then it goes to each of the 2 machines that I run. So everything is absolutely hardwired. I mean, they're both wireless machines, and I have run them wirelessly in the past, and everything wirelessly. But you don't want things failing when you need them. Plus, when things are wired, they perform a little bit better. So it's not a big investment. If you can run the lines, again, it might not make your setup look as clean, but hardwire everything because I think it's just not worth taking the risk of having something drop when you need it. The third thing you need to think about when you're setting up a home office or a trading station is heating and especially air conditioning. I have been in so many different offices and they are all way too hot. When you add a bunch of people, bunch of computer hardware, and a lot of stress, it just gets hot in the room. And again, we're talking about decision making, focus, alertness, comfort. You have to keep the temperature just right. You know, they called them boiler rooms, and I don't really know why they called them that. I think it's because of the pressure of all these, you know, all these stock market sales rooms. But I'm sure it was also because it was hot as heck in these rooms. Because there were so many people, so many computers, and that just creates so much heat, it's hard to cool it off. This is the first office I've ever had that has it absolutely right. But even then, it's still tricky at different seasons, different times of the year to get it just right. But this room has 2 ducts in it. It has a return duct. Everything is right to keep it absolutely perfect in here in terms of temperature. I know when I talked to Eamon over in Australia, he says in his house it's like 30 degrees. And you know, he's got that Australian blood, so maybe he can handle the heat. But I can't. I keep it 20 degrees here, year-round, and it's so important. As I was setting this up, I almost even bought like a split duct system to supplement it, but actually as I got it up and operating, it's been absolutely perfect, and that is such a blessing. Okay, the fourth thing on my list is about computer hardware. When you're setting up trading terminals and computers, a lot of the information you get online about machines is from video gamers, and it doesn't necessarily apply to trading. One of the big things that they're always talking about is graphics processing units, GPUs. They're very expensive, and they're very important, I guess, if you're gaming. I don't game at all, but if you're setting up a trading terminal, it doesn't really matter that much. What's much more important is RAM on your computer, which is something that isn't so important for a gamer. It's also a lot cheaper than getting a GPU, but you're going to be running most oftentimes a lot of windows open if you're trying to digest a lot of information, and you can just have a lot of things running. And I find that having a lot of extra RAM helps your computer run more smoothly, which is key because you don't want it conking out when you need it. And it also is just far more important than anything in terms of processing graphics, which you're not really doing when you're trading. So if you're investing in a machine, skip the expensive GPU. You can get a good one that can run 4 monitors or more for pretty much peanuts nowadays, and invest in a little bit of extra RAM. There are usually slots for it anyway. All right, fifth thing on my list, and no one will ever tell you this, if you set up something like this with a bunch of different monitors, it's pretty nice if they're all the same monitor. Now, the problem you can run into over time is that you'll burn out a monitor. So if you set up a system like this, and you can buy an extra monitor or two. I actually have 3 backup monitors on ice for when one of these conks out. I've burned out 2 of them over the last 6 or 7 years. And it's important to have one to replace it. So if you are setting up a system, buy an extra monitor or make sure you can get them. These ones, they're not making them anymore. The model's a little bit different and the bezels are a little bit different, but you want it to all be uniform, and if you break one or one dies, it's nice to have one on backup. All right, number 6 on the list, and this one is a little bit of an expense, is get cable TV, and if you can, get the business shows or the business TV on it. Now, there are a lot of other ways you can get those channels through the internet or like a Roku stick or even, on your computer. However, there's a lag there. You don't see it unless you're running them at the same times, but there's usually a 2 or 3 second lag between TV and something that's broadcast over the internet. That might not always be the case for you, but if you get cable, you'll notice it, and it can be very, very valuable if you're trading to get that even a second sooner. Along with that, it's good to have a TiVo box if you can swing it as well. I've got one. A lot of times you're listening to a lot of things and you might kind of hear something in the background on the TV, and then you can back it up and double check if it's something you want to hear or you want to listen to. And I found that to be very, very valuable. So get that if you can swing it. I highly recommend. All right, final thing on my list of things they never tell you when you're setting up a trading station at home is get backup power. Now, I once had an apartment where they told me the power hadn't gone out in 25 years. Some old timers who lived there said they'd never had a power outage, so it wasn't a problem there. But in my place now, 5, 6 times a year, the power goes out. It can go out at a very bad time. So I've got backup power on these machines, so you have about 30 minutes to run power. It's not super expensive to get the battery packs. You can plug everything into there, and that way you can still get things up. Sometimes you'll lose internet, but you can back that up as well. But also you can get your machine back up and running, because a lot of times a power outage might only be for like 30 seconds or something like that, and you don't want to have to reboot everything and sort of lose what you're doing or lose a trade or take you out of the rhythm. So it's a worthwhile investment to get some backup power for your setup. All right, so those are the 7 things I wish somebody had told me before I set up my first home office or trading station. I hope they're valuable to you. If there are other things that I've forgotten, please leave a comment. Let me know if you like this video by hitting the like button. Subscribe to our channel. We're trying to make all kinds of new educational content, things like this. If you haven't seen my video giving a tour of my home office, which I think is the ultimate trading office, make sure to check that one out. And make sure to check us out every day at forexlive.com. Thanks so much for watching.